نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه وبعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما آمين يا رب العالمين. Today we are going to learn about Ilm Mani. We are starting Ilm Mani inshallah from today, and we have already did little introduction about Ilm Mani, and we learned about the 8 different categories that we are going to learn under the Ilm Mani. Before starting with Ilm Mani, we will see that what these three ilm, ilm maine, ilm bayan, and ilm badi means in terms of their introduction. That what are they? We will have a little introduction about what we are going to learn in these three ulum. The first one that ilm mani that we are going to learn is that the Ilmani is the meaning of the different words and structures under which we will understand we already know the grammar and its nahu and surf and now, but also we are going to learn about the meanings of the different structures, that what are they and what they meant in Arabic language. Look at the examples like Mata Sa'a and Iyana Yawmul Qiyamah. These are two examples. Mata and Iyan both have the same meaning as when, but for a normal student that is learning about the rules of the Nahu, it just means when. But when we are studying the about Balagha and we are learning Ilm Ma'ani, then we will be um, learning about that what and when these mata and ayan are meant and used. So these are just like we will see the implications of these two words, that why they are used in a certain sentence. Just like na'buduka and iyyaka na'budu, uh, we know this iyyaka na'budu, that it is in Surah Fatiha, iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'een, that putting forward this إياك نعبد, this maful muqaddam, that what meaning does it give? What is the purpose of putting detail before the subject? This is all we learn in ilmul ma'ani. And we know that it is also for emphasis, and this is we also learn in advanced Nahu, but ilmul ma'ani is particularly dealing with this type of sentences or structures like muqaddam and muakhar. So we all are going to learn this type of the language structure in our ilm under the study of ilm ma'ani. Then we have ilm al-bayan. It is to deal with the metaphors and similes, and we already know what are metaphors and similes. And it's like you know that in this beautiful example, you can see and you will see that how we are going to use ilm bayan, or we are going to learn about ilm bayan. Like this example from Surah Baqarah, Allahu waliyul lazina amanu yukhrijuhum minas zulumati ila nur. So here, an-nuri ila zulumati, darkness into the light and light into the darkness. So instead of, you can see here that instead of using the other that the language, like from the bad to the good, this metaphor or similes are used, like darkness is used instead of the other word. So here you can say that these are the metaphors that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used here. Allah is the ally of those who believe. He brings them out from darkness into the light. It is not that darkness, not the that blackout but this is the other darkness, like from good, from bad to good, good to bad. So this is the similes and metaphors that we are going to learn how these words are used in the Quran and other Quranic, the Arabic text, like metaphors and similes that we are going to learn in Ilm al-Bayan. The example also showing this al-dhulumat ila nur, from the darknesses into the light. So here this metaphor is used. The last term that we will learn will be ilm badi, and that is to beautifying the speech. And the most beautiful example that I see is Surah Rahman and Surah Maryam. These are very beautiful examples to show that this is all the beauty of that all of them are ending in the same pattern. This is the third science. This is the embellishments that beautify the speech. This is what we are going to learn in Ilmul Badi. So here you can see this example for the first page of Surah Maryam, and you can see here the rhyming endings here, like Zakaria, Khafiya, Shakiya, Waliya, رضية سمية إتية شيئة سوية عشية سبية عصية حية. So you can see here شرقية. All the words are adding and they are into a perfect rhyming and they are beautifying the text and the language and the speech. And subhanallah, our beautiful Quran is the best example of al-Badi. Like this is the best of the speech. So this is the little intro about Ilmul Mani, Ilmul Bayan, and Ilmul Badi. So these are the three types three ulum that we are going to learn in Ilmul Balagha, and we are starting with Ilmul Mani because it is the most detailed ilm that we are going to learn, inshallah. So the first topic, as we have just have the intro about the eight different topics or categories that we are going to do in Ilmul Mani. The first one is Al-Khabar wa Insha. We will learn about Al-Khabar wa Insha, that what is this al-khabar wa insha. So every kalam you can say this is, let me show you. Every kalam is of two types, you can say, and it can be khabar or insha. All of the speech, all of the speech that we say, or meaning whatever we say, will either be considered as insha or khabar. So we can be wondering, or you might be wondering about the terms khabar and mubtada that we have studied in our Dahu sessions, and there are lots of things that we have learned in that. But khabar and mubtada, we always have heard these terms in Nahu studies. But in khabar wa insha, just remember a very important point that is in every science that it has its own terminologies, and those terminologies have certain meanings in every science. So khabar and insha is not the same like khabar and mubtada. So we need to learn these terms now because now we are learning ilmul balagha. So we are going to use the terms that are used in ilmul balagha. So they might have the same meanings, but not always. But here we are going to use those terms that are used in ilmul balagha. So here as I mentioned, that kalam in Ilmul Balagha is of two types. Like it can be khabar, like as I mentioned, like whatever we say can be khabar or it can be insha. So the term, as I told you, that the term khabar in Nahu is like in Jumla Ismiya, we have the mubtada and the khabar is predicate. But in this science Ibn Balagha, as I mentioned, it is completely something else. So we'll see that what is khabar in Balagha. So let's see. All right, so here, khabar are the statements where it is possible to say to its speaker that he is either truthful or he is lying. So in here, in khabar, like we are doing it in khabar statements, all these statements where it is possible for us to say to the speaker that he is whether he is speaking truth or whether he is lying. Or we can also say that khabar is when the speaker, irrespective of he is, could be described as either he is kazib, he's liar, or he is sadiq, or he is truthful. So it can be said that khabar are those statements in which we can say to the speaker that he is truthful or he is lying. So, as you can see the example, Safara Umar, Umar traveled. So you can see from the example, like if someone have told you that Umar has traveled, so there is a possibility that you can say to him that you are lying or you are telling the truth. Yes, of course we can say that. We can say to him that well, it is not sure whether you are giving us the um, true information or not. So here in this sentence, it is possible and there is a possibility of saying that this type of speech can be true or it can be false, and this is called a khabar. So you can say khabar are all of those statements or all the speech in which there is a possibility in which you can say that the speaker or whoever the informer is telling us the truth or he is telling us a lie. So he can be a kazib or he can be a sadiq. But here, I want to tell you one thing that from the speech of the Quran, there are so many khabar that you will see, that you will find so many khabar of this type and so many insha. But we know that this statement is it possible for the Quran to Nauzubillah, tell that this is not a true speech? We cannot say that. We know that Quran is the ultimate truth and it is said by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it is not some regular speech. So whatever khabar or whatever statement is within Quran, we have this iman that every khabar, every speech, every sentence is true because it is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it is for the general rule that if you find a sentence or if you have this information, if someone is telling you something, then there is a possibility. If you find there is a possibility to say whether he's a liar or not, then you can say it is a khabar. Likewise, the sayings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we can say that each word that is spoken from Huzur Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we can say that there is no possibility that that speech can be false or it cannot be true. So everything that is said by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is authentically proved to be true. So this is also we can say this type of all the words from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam are true, but they are khabar, but they are true. But if we know someone who is a liar, so and he has informed you something or he has given you some information, we can say that we can tell him or we can say that you are lying or you are telling the truth. So this is all about khabar. So let's see. So what is the next one? Insha. Now we are done with khabar. So khabar are the all those statements that we can say that whether it can be true or false. So khabar is when the speaker, irrespective of who he is, could be described as either Kazim or a Sadiq. Insha. So what are insha? So insha are those statements where it is not possible to say to its speaker that he is truthful or he's lying. Or we can say that insha is where the speaker, irrespective of who he is, can either be described as Sadiq or Kazim. So, like example, Safir. So here you can say you can see that it is a command. You travel. You should travel. You travel. So the sentence is a command, and because a command is being given, it is not possible to say whether the speaker is telling the truth or lying. So you don't know that whether he is Kazib or Sadiq because he's just giving you a command. So this type of speech is said to be insha, where it is not possible to say that the speaker is truthful or he's lying. So there are two types of kalam. We learned that in khabar and insha. In khabar, it is possible to say whether the speaker is lying or not lying. In insha, it is not possible to say whether the speaker is telling the truth or not. Like just like this is a command, Safir, you travel. So this is a command, and it is not possible to tell that whether the speaker is telling the truth or not. There are some more examples. Ya Zaid, O Zaid. This is, you know that it is in Bunada. So is it possible to say whether the speaker is telling the truth or not? So we can say no, it is not possible. So this is called insha because the caller is calling Zaid and there is no possibility of the truth or the falsehood. So here we can say it is kalam, but it is insha. The type is insha. Another example is Ma Ismuka. What is your name? Then you know that it is also a question, and therefore it is not possible to say if the statement is true or not. The other example is La taktub. So we know that you don't write. It is a prohibition. It is La nahi. So we know that this is La taktub. It is also a command. So therefore, it is not possible to say whether the speaker is telling us the truth or he is lying. So it is also an example of insha. All right. So here we learn about the two types of kalam, khabar and insha. In the next session, inshallah, we will learn about the types, or you can say the components of whether it is a khabar or insha. We will learn about the components of a khabar and insha, and again they are of two types. We can say musnad and musnad ilayhi. The other name is mahkum bihi and mahkum alayhi. Musnad can be also called as mahkum bihi. It can be musnad bihi or just musnad, and it is the other name is mahkum bihi. The other thing is the other component is musnad ilay, and it can also be called as mahkum alayhi. So here khabar and insha, this is kalam khabariya and kalam inshaiya. Whether this is the kalam of khabariya, it can be of two. It has two components. Kalam inshaiya, it has two components. Musnad and musnad ilay. So in the next session, we will learn about musnad and musnad ilay in detail. I'll see you in the next session. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.